Hello guys, welcome back to the next video, and as promised this is going to be a hero breakdown video in which we are going to talk about Viking Heart Riven. Now she's the latest hero that got launched, and we are going to do the breakdown in our usual manner in which we will talk about how to obtain the hero, skills of the hero, potential talent build, who to pair her with, and what would be the best use of this hero. So let's start with first. She is a top commander hero, so you need to rank top 15 to actually recruit her. So that's that. Now let's start with her skills. Her first skill basically is a rage skill, which requires 1000 pretty standard. Deals damage to target every second for 4 seconds. It goes up to 3900, which turns out to be 15,600 in 4 seconds. This is so far the max that we have seen in any particular hero, 15,000. We do have Alina. She has 5400 for 3 seconds, which is basically 16,200, which is higher than her. But for infantry, this is the max we have. And if garrisoning, we get defense buff of 32%. I have some comments about this particular skill, but let's move on to the next one. We have passive skill of HP buff of 30%, which is really good. We don't get HP buffs a lot, so if we get HP buff, take it. And we have in alliance territory infantry defense increases to 15%. So with this defense, and when you garrison, you actually are in alliance territory, provided you are garrisoning your own shelter. In that case, you are not in alliance. You can be potentially not in alliance territory, but if you are, say, garrisoning a tower or a village, you are in alliance territory. So in those situations, this turns out to be a 47% squad defense buff on top of HP buff. So this is pretty substantial. She is a good tank if you are going to defend a tower or a village or something. And with these two skills alone, she is kind of tied into garrison role, and anybody hitting her. Now this is where I do want to talk about the first thing that I mentioned. It says that she deals 3900 damage for 4 seconds. Total is 15,600, but on garrisoning, you can potentially keep the whatever structure you are trying to defend full, and this particular 3900 damage per second can more or less be very much consistent damage for all 4 seconds. But if, say, you are using her on field, in that case, with every second of combat, your squad size reduces because you are also taking damage from the enemy squad. The actual damage dealt to enemy will basically reduce based on your lower squad size. So that's one thing that I don't like about this incremental damage that happens over time. Same goes with Elena, where you get 5400 for 3 seconds over each second for 3 seconds. But I would say this is still pretty good. I would definitely I'd say many people will think before hitting her because of this on garrison. So this is one thing that I did wanted to mention. Using her on field, make sure that your squad size is gonna be, big. Now this is the second skill we talked about. Infantry squad attack 24%. This is straight up buff. It's okay. We have commanders with more than this, but this is where things get interesting. Now, I would like you to listen to me a little carefully because she has a couple of things with counterattacks and shields. So counterattack have 20% chance to grant a shield for 3 seconds. It's gonna be on herself alone, and this effect can be triggered once in 3 seconds. Now the shield factor can be up to 1700. I'll discuss more about this. Basically what we are saying over here is we have 1 in 5 chances to activate this shield for 3 seconds. Now counter attack happens every time we receive any basic attack. If we are getting swarmed, we are dealing more counter damage, so the chances of this shield being up increases that much more. So this particular shield factor can be, if she is swarmed, there's a very good chance that this particular shield is gonna be up. Now, adds 10% bonus to obtained shield. It doesn't say her own shield. It can be any shield. We have any squad we send out, we have 2 heroes in there. So if she is paired with any other hero with a shield, we have few you can say heroes come to mind right away. One would be Rygoro definitely, and Eddie. We have Robert. All of them produces shields. So this 10% bonus is gonna increase, not 10 actually, 30%. Yeah, 30% is gonna increase the shield absorption that much more. And while the shield is active, counter damage increases up to 27%. Now with this skill, pairing her with Eddie is gonna be really good because Eddie does have his own shield, which can be boosted to 30% by this effect. She generates her own shield from counter attacks, and this 27% plus Eddie's 44%, dealing quite a bit of counter damage right there. And this is not it. It gets better. When taking skill damage, she has 50% chance to grant a shield, another shield, for 3 seconds, damage factor 2000. With this 30%, it's gonna be 2600 something. This 1700 will be 2200 something. But so we have 2 different shields. Each so this is where I want you to listen to me a little carefully. If you have not seen it yet, I have a particular video in which I break down the combat log, and I talk many things in there. One thing that I want to recall from that, I put the link in the description for that video if you wanna go and check it out. But let's say, says when receiving skill damage, when we are fighting any enemy, we have 2 heroes in there, each with their own skill damage. So and first time the primary hero's skill damage happens, and the next second we have the support, their skill damage happens. Either of those 2 will give her a 3 second, because 50% chance, there's a good possibility that in every skill draw, in every rage cycle, she will have this shield for 3 seconds. And since most of the players that we are gonna fight, they have their rage cycle from say 6 to 8 seconds. So since this effect can be triggered once in 6 seconds, we can pretty much guarantee that this particular shield will be active every time she receives a skill damage. Every skill cycle, she will get this particular shield from enemy, not her own skill cycle. Her own skill cycle will give, she's doing damage in her skill cycle, and she gets a shield in enemy skill cycle. In a way, that would be one. Each time she have a shield, she has counter damage increment to 27%, and that counter attack has 20% chance to activate another shield of 2200 damage absorption factor. That is gonna remain active for 3 seconds, which means if this particular shield gets activated at second 4, after 3 seconds it can activate again. As soon as it goes out, it can get triggered again. Plus, they can get stacked. Personally, I would like them to not get stacked, because for 3 seconds I have 2200 absorption. In the next 3 seconds, if I have 2600 absorption, that would be really good. So, what sequence I would go for her skills? I'd say 1, 2, because HP buff is a straight up buff, you should get it. 3, because you need the shield factor and the attack buff obviously. And 4, because without shield there's no point of increasing the bonus on the shield. So 1, 2, 3, 4, she is like the straight arrow in that case. Her potential uses, I would say, first of all, let's talk about pairs. I would definitely pair her with any particular hero with a shield. For example, she can be with her in support. Definitely in support. I'll tell you why. I can pair her with a couple of heroes. One Ragoro, definitely. Ragoro plus her on a garrison. That is a very good garrison. I think most likely we are gonna start seeing that particular pair on garrison a lot now. Because so far after Thunder, we have been seeing Thunder mostly on garrison. But with her, we most likely are gonna see Ragoro as well. Most people don't want to hit Ragoro anyway. But with her, it's gonna be amazing. Next, another pair that I can possibly have her with would be Eddie, but not on garrison obviously. This is gonna be on field, and the reason being, he has his own shield factor. What happened? He has his own shield factor, which will get a boost. On top of it, their combined damage is really good. If you are in alliance territory, this 30% plus that 15%, 45% defense buff. And I don't like the remaining squad size less, this particular one, but anyway, the extra counter damage. And obviously you're gonna be leading infantry squad. You have 44% here, and as long as that shield is up, we'll get extra 27% on this. And we have 30% from him and 30% from her. So 60% HP buff right there. Also, when the shield disappears, because she has 2 shields and he has one of his own, so 3 shields, any of them disappears or broken, HP of 3 nearby enemy squads will be reduced by 20% for 2 seconds. So this particular skill can stay up for quite a bit, just because we have that many shields going on. Robert, again, he does with his shield. He does have his own shield and gains 20% chance to grant it. Yeah. So, but I would say most likely pairs would be Ragoro and Eddie, if I'm gonna use them. And with Ragoro, definitely Garrison, and with Eddie, you can use her on field. She's tied to Garrison, but still will be good. The reason why I'm not gonna potentially use her as a lead, because even though she's with her out of 5 skills, 2 of them are basically garrison skills. They can be very well used on garrison. She does not have a garrison tree. She has this weird general tree, which is not a good one. If she had a garrison tree like the way we have Tom, infantry garrison defense, if she had that, would have been great. Then it would be great. But yeah, most likely I'm not gonna be using her as a lead, with either of Ragor or Eddie, for that matter. And one thing I did want to mention is she does come with strategy guide, and they kind of paired her with Victor, which is weird because I know they're going for a stronger garrison, but there can be a potentially better pairing because of that shield boost. So if somebody wanna try it and let me know how it goes. But I don't see this being a better pair than pairing her with any of the infantry commanders with shield. So her potential build is one topic that we have left. I rarely use general tree, and with her definitely not gonna use general tree. So we are left with defense and infantry. I'm most likely gonna use build it the way Tom is. The reason why I don't go for this one is reduce. I don't like reducing my own damage dealt. Just personally, I don't like doing that. Anyway, so this is one build that I've seen that works for me well for any of the lead commanders that I use with this particular tree. I mean, in Tom's case, this works well. So most likely her build is gonna be the same. And in case there are any changes, I'll just ask me when the hero comes out and how am I using it, because so far we haven't seen her in action, so we don't know yet how she will perform. Because when it comes to percentages, it totally depends on how you can say frequently this percentage actually triggers a particular effect. Anyway, with that, I think I've covered everything. If you have any questions, please let me know in comments, or you can reach out to me in the game. I'm currently in region. Where is the region information? Yes, region 313. So with that, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day or night. Bye bye.